To really grow, you have to decide that that's what your life is about. Nothing else. Everything else will be taken care of. In fact, it will do better than you could ever do with it. It won't always be the way you would have thought about it, but overall, it will do better everything. Your financial life, your family life, your personal life will end up overall higher, purer, cleaner, more balanced if what you're doing is living for growth, living for liberation, living for freedom. The rest will take care of itself. If what you're doing is living for the rest, living for your name, fame, finance, family, relationships, neither they will evolve very high, nor will you. The law works wherever you work, at whatever level you work, you do your real work. Everything below that takes care of itself because you're not messing with it. You're not disturbing the flow of the energy. However, wherever you are focusing your attention, especially in this world, you create problems. By definition, the very fact that you're focusing your attention there means you're being too detailed, too picayune. There's a whole universe, and you're caught up with a spot here or there. And it just creates like an ingrown toenail. Your mind becomes ingrown, and it can't ever be happy. So if you want to really grow and evolve, you have to devote your life to your evolution. What does that mean? People think it means that you have to leave your job or leave your family or renounce things. It doesn't. It means that every single minute of every single day, no matter what you're doing, that's what you're doing. You're going to the same place everyone else does. You're married or you're not married. You have children or you don't have children. You're working your finance at whatever level they are presented to you. You're doing what's put in front of you and being where you're put with the same passion, the same commitment, the same focus, maybe even deeper than people who really care about it do. The difference is what you care about, and all that you care about is freeing yourself from yourself. The only thing binding you is you. There is nothing else. It's not your life. It's not the people around you. It's your relationship with your life and with the people around you. You can't change the outside. You fight all you want, you change it very little. But you can change your relationship with it. So when you decide that what you want to do is grow, you don't have to change anything except your attitude about what's going on. If you think what's going on is some temporal situation that you need to mess with, control, manipulate, change, so that you're okay, you will never be okay. If what you know is going on is that the world is unfolding, and if it happens to be disturbing you, it's because there's something wrong with you. If it happens to irritate you, it's because you're irritable. If it happens to cause fear, it's because you're afraid. If you weren't afraid, you wouldn't feel fear. If you weren't irritable, you wouldn't get irritated. If you didn't care what people thought of you, you wouldn't care what they thought of you or what they said about you. If you weren't out there looking for someone to take care of you or love you, then it wouldn't bother you whether people liked you or not. It's always coming from you, always. And so a being who wants to grow spiritually, who wants to really explore beyond, uses every single minute of their life for that purpose. No matter where you find yourself, it is either attracting you, repulsing you, or you're not even paying attention to it. You're looking right past it to something that does attract you or repulse you. If you were sitting here looking from here across the field, and there was something out there that was attractive to you or scared you, look at all the stuff you're missing in between. The carpet and the thing and the color of the glass and all the way through. It's almost as if you will look right past everything that's neutral to you until you see something that is either attracting you or repulsing you, that is either making you feel good or making you feel bad. It's almost as if you look for them. So that's what life is going to be like. It is either attracting you and causing those issues, it is disturbing you and causing those issues, or you don't notice it. Well, you notice it, but you don't notice it. Not in that way. You look right past it until something actually stops you. Eventually it will. Don't worry about it. You can't even take 3 steps until something's either bothering you through attraction or bothering you through disturbance. But I want you to focus on that. How it is that so many objects can be neutral. You walk past desks and chairs and rain and millions and billions of things, and they don't cause attraction or repulsion. During those moments, you are centered. They are within themselves. There is a reality to that relationship. Here you are being aware of what is. There's nothing to do about it. It's not affecting your inner state. Therefore, you don't feel the need to mess with it. The chair is welcome to stay where it is. The person is welcome to say what they say. Rain is welcome to come when it comes, goes when it goes. Wind blows when it doesn't, it doesn't. If that's what's happening, and it's not creating a change in you, either for or against, you are really in a very balanced state about that. The problem is it doesn't last very long, because something is going to happen that either attracts you or disturbs you. Both are disturbances. When that happens, your natural tendency is to say, I was okay until this happened, so either I need to push away what disturbs me, or I need to get and keep and cling to that which attracts me, and therefore I won't be disturbed anymore. I can get on with my business. The trouble is there are so many things that disturb you or attract you that you'll never get on with your business. You'll get on with their business. You go from one thing, this disturbs me, you finally fix it, takes 2 years, and then all of a sudden this changes or that changes, and you're constantly working on something. And the something you're working on is not you. We're talking about to grow spiritually, you have to work on yourself. How can you work on yourself? You're busy working on your problems and your solutions. You're busy working on keeping that which you think makes you happy and getting away from and pushing away that which you think disturbs you. That's what you're working on. And it's a full-time job. So you have no time to work on yourself. That is what yoga is about. Yoga is about turning the whole thing upside down and sitting here saying, the only time I have is to work on myself. And only by working on myself can I solve these apparent problems that I have. I can't solve the problems by messing with those things outside. It's a very evolved being who understands that. You cannot solve problems by working with things outside. Why? In the same way that things that are neutral to you, you don't feel you need to solve, they take care of themselves. Leaves fall and wind blow, and there's just billions and trillions of things go on that don't have any effect on you. Then they solve themselves because they weren't problems. What you want is for everything to get to that state. You want a state where you're at peace with every single thing in the universe. You can't be busy trying to make things the way you need them so that you're okay, or you will be very, very busy all the time. So the only way you can do this is to work on yourself such that all things in life have this peacefulness, have this neutrality to them, that they are all life passing by you. It's one and the same thing. There's no difference between any of it. All of it's the same, and they come and they go, and you're at peace with all of them. You have no preferences, desires, fears, hopes, dreams, concepts, views, philosophies, nothing. You're just there, and life is there, and you're at peace with it, and it is at peace with you, and it's just fun. It's just fun to be there and to wake up in the morning, and then these events take place, and then you go to bed at night, and then you wake up again, and that's all. And then all these events are happening all the time, and you're experiencing your life. You're living your life. If you live like that, you will feel a depth, a fullness that people rarely feel. What people normally feel is that life is passing them by, and it's happening very fast, and they're not actually tasting it or touching it. And they want to go do things or change things in order to make it so they feel a deeper experience of life. The yogi comes to realize is that all of life is beautiful. All of life is fulfilling, every single moment of it. And if it isn't, it's because something's wrong inside of you. And if you want to fix that, you have to fix what's wrong inside of you, not what's wrong with life, because there's nothing wrong with life. And not what's right with life, because there's nothing right with life. Life is like the planets. They're neither right nor wrong. They're just there. Certain planets have rings, certain planets are further out, certain planets are closer. They're of different diameters and sizes, shapes and colors. That's neither right nor wrong. It just is. Life is like that. People are the way they are. Situations are the way they are. Things happen when they happen. They stop when they stop. They come when they come. They go where they go. And you have the honor of experiencing them, of seeing them, of being there with them. You even have the honor of interacting with them. There's nothing about the deep state that says that there is no dance going on, that there is no interaction between the self and reality of life. There's just no attempt to control it. There's no attempt to define how it's supposed to be. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy the fullness of the experience that you're having. You put your whole heart and soul and being into what is before you, and then the next thing is before you, and the next thing is before you, and you keep living fully your life. What you don't do once you catch on is to decide within your head the way you need life to be, and then use all of your energy that should be being used to work on yourself, to go out there and attempt to manipulate life to make it be what you need for it to be. And that is the essence of your spiritual growth. Now, what does it mean to work on yourself day in and day out, every single moment of every single second? Don't I have to go meditate somewhere in order to work on myself, or go do yoga, or read books, or taking my little quiet time for myself? I wanted to work on myself. Go off some hut in the woods somewhere, on a retreat or something. No, absolutely not. You work on yourself every single moment of every single day, no matter where you are or who you're with or what you're doing. And you say, well, how could that? I could never do that. Why? If you meditate in the morning and you meditate in the evening, that's good, but it's not great. What you need to do, let's say you meditate in the morning and you got to a state where you could have very, very deep meditation. You feel very relieved and deep and free. And then in the evening you could do the same thing. Until you understand why it doesn't stay that way for the rest of the day, you're not getting anywhere. At some point, it's more important to understand what takes you out of that state than it is how to do your pranayamas to get back into that state. Why don't you stay in that state? What's pulling you out of that state? Because the truth of the matter is, obviously you will never be able to stay in that state until you understand what's pulling you out of the state. You have to fix what's broken. You can't just put things on top of it. So the depth of true spirituality, of true yoga, is about watching yourself in your day-to-day life. If you're around people and you feel nervous, then don't sit there and say, oh no, I could never be centered because I'm so nervous here. That's wonderful that you feel nervous. If you feel desirous, if you feel competitive, if you feel challenged, whatever the heck it is that is coming up in you because you find yourself in this situation or around this person or during these events, whatever it is that's happening inside of you, you have to watch that. You have to see that. And you have to realize this change that has happened inside of me is what keeping me from being at peace. The situations outside are not what keeping me from peace. They're just situations outside. You have to say, I want to be able to be at peace no matter what the situations are outside. I don't want to have to create certain situations to be at peace. So if you say that, your work is over outside. Because what you've basically said is the outside will unfold on a minute-to-minute basis, and that's fine. I will be there with it. And if it creates disturbance inside, either due to being drawn because of attractiveness or being pulled away because of fear and disturbance and repulsiveness, either way, you're watching your inner state and you learn to work with that shift of energy that starts to happen inside of you because of your outer situations. So that is the first major step in true spiritual growth, which is you're not working on the outside, you're working on the inside, and not just when you're meditating. Every single minute of every single day, those are situations that are happening outside of you so that you can work with the inside of you. If the same situation happened every moment, same people, same things, same words, nothing would happen. You'd get very used to it. But because all these varieties of things go on, and you can never tell how people are going to behave or what's going to happen, it's going to cause shifts inside of you because you're not prepared. It catches you by surprise. Then you have a choice. Either you say, oh my God, this caught me by surprise. What did I do wrong? I should have planned better so that I couldn't get caught by surprise, so that this didn't disturb me. Or you sit there and say, good. Life unfolded. It caught me by surprise. Now I have to work on myself so that I'm able to grow enough to where if these situations take place, I'm okay. I'm at peace. I'm able to experience life as it is, not as I defined it to be. Again, how do you work on yourself in this, what we call the pathless path, in the path in which life itself is your path? It is your guru, it is your teacher. All the circumstances of life are attempting to free you, to liberate you. How do you do that work? First, you have to stay conscious. Some people still lose their center. What does that mean? You're there, you're saying, I'm going to work on myself, and now I'm going to go into this room or be with these people or have this experience, and usually it bothers me, but I'm not going to let it bother me. I'm going to stay very aware and conscious of what's going on, and then I'm going to come out of the room and I'll be so excited that I was able to stay the same before I walked in the room, while I was in the room, and when I came out. You say that to yourself. You should do that. You literally should do that. You should remind yourself that that is your goal when you walk in the room. Not to impress people, not to do this, not to do that. Your goal is, now I'm centered and calm, here I am. I would like to walk in the room, sit down, do whatever's going on, be a proper participant, and when I leave, be right back where I was before I walked in, without any loss of continuity of purpose or consciousness. That's a true meditation. Deep center. In most cases, if you walk in and then you walk out, you'll go, what happened? You were there before you walked in, then you're not there for a while, okay, but you don't know that you're not there because you're that much not there, okay? And then you walk out and all of a sudden, oh, I said I was gonna, and you blew it. You weren't able to keep the continuity of consciousness across the experience and back to that point, all right? That's your work. See, your work isn't that other stuff.